Injustice anyway is injustice everywhere. When one person is being discriminated, one day you might be that person.
We work with communities that have for ages been marginalized, that have not felt as Kenyan citizens, that feel like they are second-class citizens. Access to documentation is key in Kenya. You will only enjoy basic rights if you have an access to documentation. And since you do not, then where do you fall?
Kenya is home to nearly 50 million people from over 40 ethnic groups. Divisions exacerbated during colonial rule have left a troubling legacy up to today. Many minority groups, particularly Muslim majority communities, face immense challenges to obtain the legal identification documents they are entitled to.
Changamoto mimi napata aswa na nilipitia na bado naendelea kupitia ni kuwa kuna wakati kazi zinatokea unafaa mtu afanye, unaitwa kazi, unaulizwa uko na stakabadhi zako ama documents zako zenye unaweza pata nayo kazi, lakini sina kwa sababu ukiangalia siko na ID na maybe community yangu pia bado haijulikani, kwa sababu unaenda kwa CV unaandika Nubian, mtu anaanza kujiuliza hii Nubian ni community gani na inatoka wapi? Yeah, so mtu anafikiria maybe you are a foreigner, umekuja kutafuta kazi huko and I am a Kenyan.
When we are obtaining our documentation, we are not getting it the same day as the other communities. For them, the application processes is smooth. But for a Nubian, you'd have to take several times. Even when you have already finished your application process, the waiting period is longer compared to the other communities. So for us, as a Nubian community, it's a marginalization plus discrimination.
Namati Kenya helps a lot in promoting pluralism in this country because, they are working with minority communities who are discriminated. In the process, Namati is bringing people who are in the periphery to the main discussion, accessing documents, ID card, birth certificate, passports, training paralegals. So Namati helps in bringing these people to the main forum and to be included like the rest of the Kenyan communities.
One of the challenges that we have in Kenya is when you get a birth certificate, interesting enough, it's written this is not proof of nationality. And it's minority communities that are fighting against this. And the larger public does not know this is a problem. When you get to the age of 18, what do you prove that you're Kenyan? It's supposed to be a birth certificate that it should be the proof. But unfortunately, when it's written that is not the proof, the burden is shifted to the individual. When you get citizenship by registration, you get a registration certificate. So it means a person who's a citizen by registration has a bigger proof than a person who was born in Kenya.
The Namati Kenya approach is unique. First, they work with the community through local organizations like Paranet, where they train the local paralegals. And then it's the same paralegals who now go to their community because they understand the community better.
It was very important to have paralegals from the community itself because they understand the communities better, they understand the dynamics, and they can penetrate in that community.
Namati believes in a mantra of know law, use law, and shape law. To be able to make communities know law, we use a model of paralegals. We call it community outreach methods. And this is very key because there are people who we've seen who have looked for an ID for more than 10 years. So through door to door, they are able to reach these people who had lost hope. The Nubian Rights Forum runs a radio show at Pamoja FM, and they talk about the challenges, they talk about avenues of application, and they even do awareness whenever they're going to have mobile birth registration or ID event. Some of our partners, they go to clinics and do visits at the clinic. And then they target mothers who have given birth at home and they're coming with their children for inoculation. And that is an avenue of birth registration.
Kazi yangu katika jamii ninayoishi ni kwanza kama paralegal ni kuwaelimisha katika kujua sheria, katika kujua mwongozo wa kupata hizi stakabadhi zinapatikana kwa njia gani. Tunazungumzia stakabadhi ni vyeti vya kuzaliwa, tunazungumzia vitambulisho na tunazungumzia passport pia.
Kwa hivyo huwa nawaelimisha kwa mujibu wa sheria na processes ambazo huwa zinafuatwa ili mtu apate stakabadhi.
What motivates me as a paralegal is my community. We want our members of the community to further their studies, and without documentation, it's very hard for them to continue with their studies. A kid will not be enrolled into nursery school without a birth certificate. So I want to continue to empower them to get these documentations, and once we get this documentation, we would have been an empowered community from one generation to another, both legally and economically.
We now want to shape the law. How can we protect the remaining generations from exclusion? So the paralegals make the community know the law, that they are entitled to documentation. They walk the process with the community, and then after walking the process, they document the process. And then after documenting with the community, they identify how can we make the system work better. And that is the end result of shaping the law.
Each of the paralegals has a number of cases to handle, like maybe he's handling 200 people. So your particular case is followed until it comes to a logical conclusion. Many people are reporting through the support of Paranet and Namati, we have got assistance. So that's a very big achievement.
At Namati, pluralism has the aspect of including all. The right to identity or nationality is the right to belong, is the right to have rights. It is the entry of all human rights. Any person working on issues of gender rights, issues of children's rights, issues of economic rights, issues of political rights should talk about issues of nationality, because it is the access point of all these other rights.